Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel, Evolve with Monette. We are going to do a little something different today. A little something with charms and some relationship Jenga. My mission here, for those of you that do not know, I am a professional intuitive and I really want to make sure that the love that you are cooking up, my divine feminines, is something that is worthy of you. And a lot of us have had toxic relationships where we've lost sight of what is worthy of us. So I figured we would do a little coffee and some FBoy cards and then clarify some of these with some unconventional tools here. So these FBoy cards, you can get a load of these. Literally, they're FBoy cards, guys. So FBoy flashcards created by a YouTuber here on the platform. I believe it's Derek Jackson, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, Derek Jackson. Yeah, for those of you guys that are interested in purchasing, I don't know if you guys can see that. Do I have it the right way? There you go. FBoy cards. They really are flashcards. All right, so Derek Jackson is a relationship guy here on YouTube. So we're going to flip through a couple of these and talk about some of the questions and some of the answers and see what we come up with here. Let's see. All right, first one out. Your man tells you that he's been thinking about cheating, but wants to give you a chance to satisfy him so he doesn't. Is he or is he not an FBoy? Yes, no, or it depends. Well, I think that I've weighted the deck and started out with maybe the easiest question. If we don't get this right, Divine Feminines, then you don't need to be on this channel. I've got to refer you to some other videos and we've got to start over because this is a really, really obvious answer. But let's see what Derek Jackson says on the back here. Okay. So he says, A, yes. I think we all knew. And the answer is, while honesty is to be respected, it's also to be expected. So that doesn't cancel out the fact that he just made his fidelity a shared responsibility between the both of you, when it was a promise that he made on his own free will. Him being satisfied is one thing. Him being satisfied so he doesn't cheat, that is crossing the line. So for some of you guys that have been in this position, I don't think we need doctor. I don't think he's a doctor. I'm giving him accolades that I don't think he's earned. However, he is a relationship specialist and he has a good bit of acclaim and these lovely cards. So we don't need a guy to mansplain that to us, but sometimes it helps. That's the way that I see his videos, is almost like a big brother. There's a lot to be said. It's controversial, but you know, gosh, what isn't nowadays? Let's pick one more, guys. This is the thing that I'm going to do too, is I'm going to do a Jenga love reading for us afterwards and just see if you have an FBoy, if there's something you want to take a look at, if we can confirm some things for you. That's being you, I, and your angels. The next card out. In casual conversation, he says, if you hit him first, he's probably going to hit you back. Is he an FBoy? I think we all know the answer to this as well. The answer is, oh wow, this one surprises me. It's C. This is what Mr. Jackson says. Being that the conversation is casual, he could be speaking sarcastically. But if he's forewarning you, threateningly, then that's a problem. With great power comes great responsibility. Men, or masculines, have more power in that regard. Men, specifically, he's talking about men, therefore more responsibility to practice restraint. So it all depends on whether or not he was joking. I don't like this one and I disagree. I grew up with watching and knowing about domestic abuse in my family and household and watching it happen with my mother from my father. So, and what I will say here is one of the things she taught me is don't even play fight. Don't even play casual. You're not his brother. You're not his wrestling buddy. You're his woman. You're his wife. You're his girlfriend. You're his lover. Fill in the blank, whoever is listening. So even the playing and even in the casual conversation, I'm uncomfortable with that. Personally, that's a no for me without any debate. But you let me know in the comments what you think about that question. Just drop some out, but that's okay. Let's see here. Next question. She says, so who's the girl you told to lock me in while you were at the club last night? I saw the text. He says, oh, my homeboy had my phone because his went dead. Must be the girl he went to go talk to. So let's read that again. She said, so who's the girl you told to lock me in while you were at the club last night? I saw that text. He says, oh, it's my homeboy. He had the phone because his went dead. Must be the girl he went to go talk to. Is he an F-boy? The answer is yes, he is an F-boy. Could he be telling the truth? Sure. But even if he is, he had absolutely no consideration for how it might look to his woman that a text like this even existed in his phone. Letting his friend use his phone to go hook up with another girl is like letting a friend borrow your car to go rob a bank. Even though you may not be directly involved, it's certainly a bad look, and in some way, you'll be held accountable too. However, let's be honest, this has lie written all over it. So in a situation like this, they have to have ink and pens available, and the friend would have sent his number to the girl. No excuses. So here's the deal, guys, with this one. I thought that one was really interesting. Not a scenario that I've been in, but maybe for some of you guys that are younger and pre-COVID, it's a scenario that you have been in. So I don't know. We'll have to see about that one. But tell me below what you think. I would love to hear your feedback on this. We're going to pull 2 more and then we'll get into the reading. The next one out. She says, sorry, but I have a man already. He says, that's cool. I'm just trying to be your friend. You can't have friends. Is he an F-boy? What do you guys think? I think we know the answer to this. Yes. Under any other circumstance, just trying to be a friend would be 100% okay. But anytime that a guy counters the I'm taken curve with you can't have friends line, you know that he's playing A, dumb, or B, he has no respect for relationships. Right there in black and white. Anybody who's willing to be your friend may not be respecting the relationship. And one more, angels. What else we're going to talk to my divine feminines about tonight? You are not your hair. So you cut it all off recently and are enjoying the low-cut life. The boo says he has something for you sexy to wear for tonight's hot date. When he shows up, he hands you a wig that he picked out for you with a ribbon on it. Is he or is he not an F-boy? And the answer, drumroll please, no. Not only does it not make him an F-boy, it's quite creative and considerate. He would be giving you another option, and though most guys don't care about a woman's hair or complain about weave, he's gone out and bought some for you. Now, if he tries to force it on you, that's a different story. But if a man goes and gets you a weave or a wig, he's likely a keeper. This is really interesting because, up until maybe the last 5 years, I would say this is particularly ethnic here in this regard, but everybody wears wigs and weaves now. Everybody. It's completely normalized. So what's your take on this, guys? F-boy or not? Is it like, this is fun and funky, he wants a new energy or persona, this is our way of spicing it up? I like what he says about as long as he doesn't force it on you. Some people would say this is absolutely unacceptable, and they wouldn't really want this kind of energy, because if you made the choice to cut your hair is cut. That's what you wanted. So this one's interesting to me. I'd love to hear what your comments are below. So those are the 5 cards from the F-boy. Now what I'm going to do is do some relationship Jenga, because I have it on some good authority. We're going to do some relationship Jenga, and I'm not kidding, guys. I literally have Jenga, but then I turned it into relationship Jenga. Let me see if I can get closer. Jenga, and I've turned it into relationship Jenga, and we're also going to pull a few charms and see, and just do a non-card reading tonight. Well, we just did the card part for fun, but let's get into this a little bit more. So let's see here. All right, my love. So I am going through, I have a whole jangalang of charms here. in various sizes, and I'm going to put them right here in my little handy dandy container and see what the messages are for us tonight. All right. So we've got sparrow. His eye is on the sparrow. Beautiful butterflies. Some feathers. The sun. I got the keys, the keys, the keys. And what's the astrological sign? Sagittarius. That's interesting. All right, lotus flower. All right, so we'll come back to these charms and we'll get into them. But first, let's get into, I'll leave those right there. Let's get into our relationship Jenga and see what our angels have in store for us tonight. What's life without a few manipulatives, right? Isn't that funny? Manipulatives. Manipulatives and... All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is close my eyes and I'm going to pick out a couple blocks. The first thing that comes out will be what we frame this reading on. We're going to really practice on using our intuition. I want you guys to come with me on this journey. Using your intuition means that we don't have a direction, but whatever messages we're supposed to get tonight, we will. We trust that. So this is not just you needing to go to a reader. This is something you can do for yourself, and highly recommended, my divine feminines, that you do this. This is how you cultivate your intuition. It's also how you get answers immediately when you have questions maybe about the F-boy in your life. And apparently the theme of tonight's reading is F-boys. So let's see what our relationship Jenga has to say to us. I'm going to turn my head and just play and see which two come my way. And these are the two. So, wow. Leave now. Walking away is on the other side. Not on my watch. This phrase was made popular by Iyanla Vanzant on Oprah's Fix My Life. That is Iyanla's show. Not on my watch. She slapped her hand out on the table and she said, not on my watch. And it was about toxicity. And it was about sisters fighting. And it was about pettiness and backbiting. It was a very, if you're a tarot reader, 5 of Wands energy that she was intercepting. And on the back it says 3 is a crowd. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've picked this randomly, but it does seem to go with our theme. And that, my divine feminines, is how our angels work. So tonight, the lesson that we'll be dealing with is finding your dignity and finding your pride. We're going to pull a couple more and get some more messages, and then we're going to go into the charms and decode those as well. Walking away, and 3 is a crowd. Not on my watch. We'll set these to the side. Guys, give me 2 more to clarify that. All right. Marvin's Room. Wow, they're really driving this home. Marvin's Room is a song by Drake. And in it, when I wrote this down, the phraseology that came to me was, I'm just saying you could do better. Tell me, have you heard that lately? You know what that goes with? 3 is a crowd. So in Marvin's Room, Drake is doing what we call dirty macking. He's being very much an F-boy. He's the F-boy in the cards that says, don't you need a friend? But in fact, he's worse because in this song, he's already dated the girl. And he's messed her over. He's been an F-boy in her life. He created third-party situations with her. Do you see how this works? He created third-party situations with her, which caused her to have to say, not on my watch. Come on, tell a story, which caused her to have to say, here it is, not on my watch. Oh, this is the other one that came out. So not on my watch, and then walking away and leaving now. Okay, yeah, not on my watch is on the other side. So he started third-party situations. So this is your divine masculine, and it caused you to find your backbone and say, not on my watch, okay? And at the bottom, here's what I'm seeing here too is third-party hate. So now we're dealing with the karmic situation, right? The third party usually is a karmic. Maybe some of your divine masculines are your karmic. I'm just saying you can do better. An example of dirty macking that we've seen in pop culture, was done with Meek Mill, Nicki Minaj versus Safari. When Nicki Minaj was with Safari, Meek Mill was telling Nicki Minaj the grimy things that Safari was doing so that he could slide in. But you see how he got her is exactly how he lost her, through dirty macking and underhanded tactics. So their relationship, I have a video coming up about their relationship, was never meant to last. It was meant to teach them exquisite and painful lessons. They both had high highs and low lows in that relationship. Very karmic relationship. But that was dirty macking in play. Meek Mill interrupted Safari's flow, but it was time for them to break up. Sometimes a karmic comes in. Lesson, message, guys, because what we're supposed to do here is move into a space where we are independent from the divine masculine, and sometimes things have to blow up. So that third party hate and somebody saying, I'm just saying you could do better, is definitely your angels wanting you to leave now and wanting you to walk away. The last block that I got, the Dorothy look. That's the message. That's from the Golden Girls. If any of you guys are familiar, Dorothy was very pithy. She was very witty. She had a dry sense of humor and sarcasm that bordered line on being edgy and mean. So she would side cut an eye or a look at Rose whenever she was miserable or feeling particularly cantankerous. At the back it says Golden Girl Energy. What I love about this is sometimes you may have to rally your best good girlfriends when you're going through a breakdown and you're deciding to exit a relationship with FBoy who is really causing you a lot of drama. So I love that Golden Girl Energy, and I'm going to keep that as we transfer over to our charms. Let's see what our charms are about. So the first thing that my eyes are drawn to here, guys, is this elephant. And I love the elephant because it is a symbol of wisdom. It's also what you are, divine feminine. If this elephant appears, what we're dealing with is somebody who is very traditional, someone who goes with the book, likes to be with the tribe, and likes family. Divine feminine, this also reminds me of the Empress in tarot. Wise, methodical, someone who is protective, someone who is talented. We know elephants to be quite weighty, and so weight, that word literally translated means talent. You are weighty with talent. So they're saying that you are gifted, you are special, literally you sparkle. But the thing that I'm getting here is that you are alert, paying attention, and beyond it, not forgetting. If you get into a third-party situation and you have to rally yourself to exit with somebody, you need to be very wise and strong. And an empress does not become an empress without going through a few battles with a couple of F-boys, quite literally. The next thing is the anchor. Divine feminine, what are we connected to? If some of you guys can see that. Can you see that anchor here? What are we connected to, divine feminine? What are we allowing to be an albatross? If you're in that third party situation and you do not know how to extract yourself, this will weigh you down. This will keep you down. And you are not supposed to be kept down. Why, my loves? Because you are the butterfly. You are supposed to emerge. You are supposed to sparkle. You are supposed to be light. And being in a relationship with an F-boy will absolutely keep you away from growth. And that brings us here to the tree of life. It will keep you away from growth. It will keep you away from reaching your full potential. There can be a nourishment that's cut off as we look at this. And I wonder about where your roots are. I'm also seeing root chakra here for some of you. In order for you to find yourself in a relationship like this, we have to take a look at your family pathology. What relationships like this did you see? What things were modeled for you that were like this? Because there they say that's the major key. I've got the keys, the keys, the keys. When you connect that family lineage to the relationship patterns that have kept you stuck over here with the anchor, then what you're doing is really starting to break every chain. That's how you're able to leave now. That's how you also begin to really open up to your highest self. Here we have the lotus, if you guys can see that. The lotus here is all about opening up. It's about rising above the muck. When you see a lotus flower open, it's pristine pinks and whites, absolutely gorgeous, but it rose through the muck, and yet it doesn't stay touched and stuck on it. You evolve through that. There's also something here too about you getting your self-esteem back. See, when you leave now, that's what you get back. And here's what I'm also hearing: ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only clouds when she's away, divine feminine. When you unanchor yourself and you move on, you literally double suns. Wow, look at that. You really get your self-esteem back. And I see the double suns here as this. You both had an opportunity to maybe shine bright, but now this is you having a secondary light. This is angelic light. This is ancestor light. They're wanting you to know that they see you star and you are shining brightly. Also, they're giving you a double dose, and you might need that. This is almost like them giving you an extra helping of antibiotic after you've been sick, because you have been sick and depleted if you've been in a third party situation. The next totem here that you guys cannot see is Sagittarius. Hold on 1 second, guys. Can you guys see that? Sagittarius, okay. That's what focuses. Sagittarius. All right. Here's what I noticed about this right away. What it made me think of was Beyonce and Jay-Z. The reason that I say that, because we know notoriously that the Beyonce and Jay-Z situation had it was rife with third-party situations, right? Jay-Z didn't take Beyonce seriously to the last few years. And it's when he grew up and evolved and started getting therapy and started really working on himself. But the thing about Sagittarius is they need a long leash before they commit. Sagittariuses that are in low vibrations can be considered homewreckers and are notorious for cheating and third-party situations. So this is the message tonight if we're talking about an F-boy. Any F-boy you're dealing with has Sagittarius energy, even if they are not the fire sign, even if they are not actually Sagittarius. They are trafficking in that energy of being an F-boy. They need a long leash for commitment, and that doesn't mean that you should give it to them, because what you're going to do is end up playing yourself. That's why that "not on my watch" came out, right? They need a long leash before they have commitment, and when they do, they might have to be beat into it in submission. We saw Solange, Beyonce, and Jay-Z. The thing that I want you guys to know about this is that he may love and be faithful to this woman now, but she was Beyonce. So many of us are beating ourselves up thinking, why couldn't we keep somebody faithful or whatever, right? This is something that I counsel people with every day. This is a big concern. And the truth is, Jay-Z got faithful when Jay-Z was ready to get faithful. It had nothing to do with Beyonce. There's a message here about not internalizing what's happened to you as you've been in these relationships, because what your angels are saying is that they have been watching over, and maybe you're in someone's life to help them elevate. Beyonce was in Jay-Z's life and dealt with many years of mistreatment, poor treatment. I remember her song "Take All of Me, I Really Want to Be the One You Like," and she was doing this like striptease for him. Beyonce, now yes, it's music, and yes, it's propaganda, and yes, they're selling things, but I do believe that we create our best art from our pain. And when she said that, I thought, oh my God, sweetie, take all of me. I really want to be the one you like. If your man doesn't like you, you're Beyonce. Everybody's man likes you and everybody's woman likes you, right? Like they want to be friends with you, or they like you, or they want to sleep with you. There's a myriad of feelings people have for this woman, one of the most coveted in the world. But her man, she was pleading with him, take all of me. I really want to be the one you like. She wanted to capture his attention. If you're dealing with an F-boy, you will feel that feeling. If Beyonce is not exempt, then ladies and gentlemen, neither are we. And so that's what you need to know. Sagittarius energy is very tricky if they're not evolved. When they are evolved, they are travelers, they are philosophers, all the rest of it. Beautiful, beautiful energy. When they are not when they're not evolved, they're dogmatic. And that's the shadiness that we hear a lot with Jay-Z. I may do a separate video about that, because there's a lot to unpack there, but let's move on. You are what you say you are. You're a superstar. And we have two here. Divine Feminine, what I want to tell you here is when you get out of a third party, you can have a couple. I see a lot of replications here. Yeah, we have two keys. Oh my goodness, let's talk about the synchronicities in this box. So we have two stars here. Now, stars are friends and family, but stars are also changed. Starfish specifically, because we're dealing with the number 5. And I have a video up here about this being a 5-year change. So what's happening here with the starfish is they're saying things are about to change. But I also feel like this is you attracting a counterpart that complements you, but that doesn't match you exactly. I really like this here. I like how there are differences here, and they may have varying strengths. And I feel like once you are brave enough to say not on my watch, walk away right now from the third party, what you manifest to you is a partner that feels right. Again, we have the mimicking here in the keys. Now, we talked about the big key that is connected to your family pathology when we were dealing with the tree of life. And we were saying in order for you to unpack some things here, it's going to be very important for you to understand what you were watching when you were growing up, because we do repeat our family pathology. But here with the keys, what you're saying saying is you're ready to be in a situation where somebody else is unlocking a part of you that maybe you've hidden away. Because when you're dealing with an F-boy, there's no safety, right? His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Sparrow or hummingbird, not sure what we call this. Is it a nightingale? I'm going to say a sparrow. And what I'm seeing about this is about you being in peril and in danger and thinking that God, your angels, your ancestors had forgotten you while you're in the mix of this hellacious third-party situation. Divine Feminine, you were just dealing with a fuck boy. The nightmare is over, okay? The nightmare is over. Your long national nightmare is over. And it was a nightmare that you called on in your Akashic records. It was a nightmare that you remembered. It was something that you had to wear. Now you'll wear it. Here's this connector for a necklace. Now you'll wear it as a badge of honor, not necessarily ministering from misery, but preaching from your pain. Amen? Sometimes some people need to know the story, and that's why these things happen to us. You think, if I'm so good and I'm a good divine person, how did I end up with such an F-boy? Well, better things have happened to worse people. Or worse things have happened to better people, whichever way you want to say that. And that is Divine Feminine, for us to stay humble. Who are we not to? If one of the greatest metaphysicians that ever walked the earth modeled pain, betrayal, deceit, drama, treachery, that's Jesus, the story, one of the great stories that we know, then what makes us think that we would be exempt from being tested in a similar way? To be tested with temptation, to be tested with third-party hate in Marvin's room, to be tested with a Judas, which sometimes our F-boys can be our very own Judases. Look at this synchronicity. 2 feathers here. And what we're dealing with this is so powerful to me, because this is about divine protection. We have 2 keys, 2 feathers, 2 stars, and 2 suns. Divine Feminine, you are really coming into coupledom and couplehood. This is an offer here that's showing up here. This is a little fish. Hold on one second. This is a, what is this? Oh, this is a mermaid. This is a mermaid, Divine Feminine. I hope you guys can see it. This is a mermaid, okay? So this is a mermaid. So what are we talking about with a mermaid? We're talking about emerging. We're talking about respite. We're talking about deep emotions. We're talking about going away. We're talking about finding ourselves. We're talking about escape. We're talking about reconnecting to divine feminine energy, to beauty, to being enchanting, to being alluring, to being seductive, all the things that mermaids are. An escape. I want us to be grounded in reality, though. That's interesting to me, that we finish there. I'm going to pull out a couple of my fun charms here that I've got, and we'll see what else our angels have for us. You are the mermaid. I don't know what the message is. We're not done with that, so I'm going to finish that up, and we'll talk about it, but let's see. Also another star. Come on. Let's get crowned, Divine Feminine. Let's talk about it, and let's do 2 more angels. Fan-freaking-tastic. I can't stop getting these. I got these on another reading, which is funny because I'm not even looking in the box. But you're being crowned, sweet ladies. My loves, you're being crowned. Truly, this is what I meant. When you go through the battle, you become the Empress. You become the Queen of Swords. You become someone worthy of the crown. And this is also a reminder for you guys dealing with F-boys that you're the prize, right? So many of us get sidetracked and we think that they're the king, or they're the one that, or they're the emperor, but you are an empress, and you have your own subjects, and you have your own orbit, and you have your own life, and you have your own stuff that, you have to manage and you have to run, okay? You have your own things, and you are a unicorn. It keeps coming up. So it's a beautiful thing this year to remember, Divine Feminines, that you are a unicorn. It means you're unique, you're special, and that you have your own magical powers for healing, but also you need freedom. This is a season of freedom for some of you. If you are what you say you are, a superstar. Again, another 5. So now we have 555. That is an angel number of change. It means that change will happen in this year. Now, we've talked about it in that other video, but with this also is about being supported. Golden girl energy, a star that shines bright, golden and bright. They're saying that depend on and lean on your girlfriends if you need a little help from my friends, because that Dorothy look that you had to give your divine masculine means that maybe you were putting up with a lot of his bullshit. Yeah, this is the poop emoji, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna pull 2 more just to finish up our read. but I feel like this is very important to know that take off your rose-colored glasses. It's interesting that it's pink. It makes me think of that phrase that, you know, that you think your blank doesn't stink, right? Well, I think that you had an entitled DM that thought that their blank didn't stink, and then you found your power and took your power back, and you got into your Empress energy, big Empress energy, and you said, you know what? I think that I'll do this by myself. And now, do you see those multiplicity of twos? You're manifesting the right counterpart for you. Two more here, guys. We'll pull out. The turtle. I've been super into that lately. One more, angels. And the elephant. Ah, I love when they do it. So we have our elephant here and we have our elephant here, right? Again, you see what they're doing? 2 by 2. Some of you guys are manifesting some partnerships here. I'm very happy for you. I want you to make sure you've learned the lesson of your FBoy before you carry baggage into another thing. See, an elephant never forgets, but that doesn't mean that you need to carry the burden with you, okay? There is delight to have. There is new experiences to have. The turtle is about slow and steady winning the race, but also let's talk about how you learn how to protect yourself when you're in the onslaught of a third-party situation. That exoskeleton, that shell, that prehistoric calcification, you're protected and yet still majestic. I love turtles, probably my favorite animal. I grew up in the Keys, right next to the turtle research hospital. There's a dolphin research center, but there is a turtle hospital in Marathon, and those were my stomping grounds, and I love this. I love turtles. I love the energy of them. I think I have some videos up here about it. Divine Feminine, you will live to see many moons. What I'm thinking about is their nesting habits and patterns. This also indicates to me that your Divine Masculine will try to return. Some of you may be welcoming that back in. But before you do, remember what we talked about tonight with third-party situations and starting to differentiate between what is a healthy or toxic relationship. You deserve more. And just because somebody returns out of a nesting homing habit doesn't mean that they are welcome back home. Once that mother lays those eggs, she swims away. If you've nurtured a thing and you gave it plenty of chances to be better and do better and it didn't, my loves, you have your own journey and new eggs to lay, new businesses to start, children to rear, new relationships 2 by 2 that are coming to you. So don't get stuck over there in third-party land. It's time for you to maybe swim away, protect yourself, and find a bright new love in a brand new day. Love you guys. This was so much fun. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Come back and join me next time, and we shall continue to evolve together.